Carson Wentz went from being an MVP frontrunner to bouncing from team to team within only a few short years. When he was drafted number 2 overall by the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2016 NFL Draft, he was thought of as an elite prospect at quarterback with his elite accuracy and size combined with a pro-level readiness after running a pro offense at North Dakota State. In his first year in the NFL, he struggled though, leading the Eagles to only a 7-9 record, throwing 16 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. People wondered if he was going to be what they had expected and partially blamed him for going to a small FCS school for his early struggles. The general consensus was that he hadn't been ready for high-level competition after spending college playing at the FCS level. However, this narrative would change during the 2017 NFL season. Through the first 13 games of the season, he had thrown around 3,300 yards, 33 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions, half of what he threw in his rookie year. Unfortunately, during Week 14 against the Rams, Wentz left the game with an injury and eventually was diagnosed with a torn ACL. He missed the rest of the season, and eventually his backup, Nick Foles, led the Eagles to a Super Bowl victory over the Tom Brady-led Patriots in an all-time classic game. Wentz ended up missing the first 2 games of the 2018 season to continue rehabbing his knee, but came back in Week 3 against the Colts. Through the next 11 games, the Eagles experienced ups and downs with Wentz at quarterback before shutting him down for the rest of the season with a back injury. They went 5-6 with him at quarterback, and in the 3 games he missed at the end of the season, they went 3-0, barely sneaking to the playoffs, and eventually won a playoff game with backup Nick Foles at quarterback. After the 2018 season, Wentz's teammates began openly complaining that Wentz had a selfish and egotistical attitude, and that he ruined the flow of the offense by over-targeting tight end Zach Ertz. The public perception of Wentz started to go downhill from this point, especially with the success that Nick Foles had when Wentz had been injured in both 2017 and 2018. People started to question whether Wentz was the true future of the franchise or whether they should start Nick Foles at quarterback entering the new season. However, in 2019, Wentz was the starter, and he bounced back on the field, leading his team to a 9-7 record, making the playoffs. But in the wildcard round, he sustained a concussion in a 17-9 loss to Seattle. Now, on top of being labeled as a locker room issue, he was seen as injury prone as he had not been able to finish the past 3 seasons for one injury reason or another. 2020 was when Wentz's career truly started going downhill. He went 3-8-1 in 12 games, as well as leading the league in interceptions with 15 and turnovers with 18. In December, the Eagles had had enough, and Wentz was benched for rookie quarterback Jalen Hurts, who they had drafted in the second round in 2020. Wentz never started another game for the Eagles, and in March, Wentz was traded to the Indianapolis Colts for a first-round pick and a third-round pick. In 4 short seasons, Wentz had gone from Philadelphia's face of the franchise and an MVP candidate to the quarterback of the past, and being benched for a rookie. In 2021 with Indianapolis, he had a very solid season, going 9-8 while throwing 27 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions, and people started to wonder if a change of scenery would revive his career. However, a Week 17 loss to the lowly Jaguars eliminated the Colts from the playoffs and ended Wentz's time in Indy. Surprisingly, Wentz was traded to the Washington Commanders after the 2021 season, and in 2022 he struggled heavily again. He went 2-5 and threw 11 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, and eventually broke his ring finger on his throwing hand. After he recovered and came off the IR, he never regained the starting job and was eventually released by the team. As of this recording, no team has signed him, and he is still a free agent. Honestly, I feel bad for him because he started out so well, but between attitude issues, injuries, and inconsistent play, he never fulfilled his true potential. I'd love to see him sign with the Jets this season after Aaron Rodgers went down, because it would be interesting to see him with an elite defense and solid weapons around him. He is only 30 years old, so he has time to turn things around, but first, a team has to take a chance on him. And I think that team could be the Jets, because they are kind of desperate at the quarterback position, because I don't know if they want to stick with Zach Wilson going forward after the season he had last year. And this is a playoff-ready team, which means Wentz would not have to shoulder the entire load, because they do have an amazing run game, as was shown in Week 1 against the Buffalo Bills. Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook may be the league's best 1-2 punch at running back, and Michael Carter is a solid third running back. So this team may have the best running backs in the league, and when Wentz has to throw the ball, he has weapons in Garrett Wilson and other playmakers down the field. So it would take the pressure off Carson Wentz and allow him to not be the same down the field quarterback that he always was, and that could avoid him interceptions, because When Wentz was able to take the check down and not always have to make the big play was when he actually succeeded in the league. That was when he was in Indianapolis and that one season in Philadelphia where he was an MVP candidate. And if he can get back to even close to that level, this team could be scary good with him at quarterback. So I would love to see the Jets go out and get Carson Wentz to be their quarterback for the rest of the season, because he is only 30 years old, and at 30 years old he still has a few more good seasons left in him. So it would be interesting to see what they could build with him at quarterback. Talent has never been the issue for Carson Wentz. He has the athleticism and the talent to be a starter quarterback in this league, as he showed in 2017 and somewhat in 2021 with the Colts. But it's always been kind of the mental game holding him back, as well as injuries. In the 2017 season, after he had gotten hurt and Nick Foles was leading the team to a Super Bowl run, he was reported to have been complaining about the team's success without him. And Darren Sproles came out later and said that he had to have a conversation with Wentz saying that they won as a team and lost as a team, and Wentz should just be happy that the team was winning overall and not worried about being on the bench. And basically what Sproles was saying was that another teammate had come and actually got into an altercation, and the two had to be separated because Wentz had been complaining that he wasn't the one in the spotlight, he wasn't the one getting the praise, and he wasn't the one in the starting quarterback position as the Eagles were having a successful season. So it's that kind of attitude that has kind of held him back throughout his career. He needs to be the star, and he needs to be the guy in every situation he goes to, and that has held him back throughout his career. So I believe that if he allows himself to be humbled by the last couple of years, that he could be still a very good quarterback in the NFL because of his talent. But he needs to become humbled and needs to become just a better team player for him to succeed and for the team around him to succeed. Anyways, God bless you all. I hope you have an amazing day, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I just hit 80 subscribers on here, so I really want to say that I thank all of you and I appreciate all of you for helping me reach this milestone. I would love to hit 500 subscribers before Christmas. That's a very ambitious goal, but I'm going to be posting consistently between now and then. So that would be amazing if we could hit that. God bless you all.